I am 24 years old and female. This is a bit hard for me to write out, but I think it's important to address. So, my parents split when I was young. Neither my dad nor my mom had their act together, which in turn caused me to not have my act together. From a young age, I was drinking and experimenting with recreational drugs. I was just falling into a cycle that my family has always been in. My mother tended to sleep around with anyone who would give her the time of day. This meant inviting some creepy guys into our home. I think it's important to mention that she was a drug addict and didn't consider the danger. I had been arrested a few times before the age of 15 for either fighting or underage drinking. I was a mess. One night, my mom and her occasional boyfriend were waiting up when I stumbled in drunk. This was the moment I realized I needed a change. My mom's boyfriend had pushed me down and then pulled me into another room of the house. My mom started banging on the door, begging him to let me go. To this day, I still will not forget that sinister look on his face. It gives me chills just thinking about it. It was the face of someone who had bad intentions. It was a little smile, and I swear it's burnt into my brain. He said something along the lines of, "I'm about to show you why it's bad to let your mom worry about you." I screamed. He kept coming at me, but I put up a fight. After a couple of minutes of struggle, I scratched him in the face. Then he became enraged. Thankfully, my mom had phoned the police and he was arrested before anything serious happened. There was a cop who was always present when I got in trouble. He was around 60 at the time. I remember he was always giving me shit for my behavior. That night he was there. My mom was taken into custody along with her boyfriend, so I was sitting and waiting with him while they were getting my story. Then he said something to me I will never forget. "I'm sorry about all of this. I'm sorry, but you're not going home." And then he told me, "It's time for you to change. Do you want to end up like her, or do you want to be somebody?" I told him that I wanted to be somebody. I wanted to break that cycle. I was put into foster care, which was a horrible experience at first, but it ended up being what I needed. He and I stayed friends until he passed away about a year ago. I always went to him when I needed guidance. I'm happy to say that I've been a corrections officer for the past 2 years because of him, and I'm pleased to honor his memory by pursuing a career in law enforcement. Also, losing me was what my mom needed to get her act together. She has been sober for almost 10 years and is remarried to a wonderful guy. Hopefully this was somewhat encouraging. And that concludes another episode of Creepy Limes, where we delve into the unsettling and inexplicable encounters that send shivers down your spine. If you enjoyed these chilling tales, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more unnerving stories. Before we part ways, we want to hear from you. Have you had a creepy encounter you'd like to share? Drop it in the comments below, and who knows, it might be featured in our next video. Your stories make this community truly spine-tingling. Remember, the world is full of inexplicable moments that can send a shiver down your spine, and we're here to explore them together. Stay curious, stay vigilant, and most importantly, stay safe out there.